and you hop onto the highway and you're driving down the mile down the road, and then you see this massive traffic jam. What is your first thought? I'm gonna be late. That is an automatic negative thought, meaning you actually did not have to think very hard to think that thought. Because we're kind of wired this way, right? Our brains, our mindsets, our energy, it wants to protect us. Oh my gosh, my ego kicks in. I don't want to be disappointed if I'm not on time, so let me automatically think that I'm going to be late so I'm not disappointed. And so you're focused on avoiding disappointment. And what you are focused on, you get more of. Your brain looks for reasons to support what you already believe. So if I'm trying to avoid disappointment, I am focused on that disappointment, and I'm going to end up getting more disappointment. Welcome back to Create Your Fate. I'm Life Coach Meg Ellis, here to tell you, I'm going to burst your bubble, that you are probably not a positive person. I know I'm coming at you real talk today, but I am going to teach you a way that you can actually fix it. Because here's the thing is, I see this all the time. I'm a positive person. I'm a positive person. Everybody wants to say they're a positive person, but I keep getting these negative results in my life. What's going on, right? And that's not how this works. I'm Life Coach Meg Ellis. I'm a conscious life coach. I focus on energy. I focus on your mindset, and I focus on manifesting, which is hugely about mindset and your energy. So subscribe, like this channel, tune in if you want more content like this. If you want to learn how to create your best life ever with your energy, this is the show for you. So today, let's talk about how you're not a positive person. And I'm going to give you a very classic example of you are on your way to work, and you're going to arrive on time. You have to be at the office at 9. I didn't really allot for, I go this way every single day. I'm going to arrive at 9. And you hop onto the highway and you're driving down the mile down the road, and then you see this massive traffic jam, 8 lanes across, right? I'm in Houston, so we have 8 lanes of traffic here, but all the lanes are blocked. What is your first thought? I'm going to be late. And I'm here to tell you that is an automatic negative thought, meaning you actually did not have to think very hard to think that thought. And that is an automatic first response. And if your automatic first response is a negative one, then unfortunately, I am here to tell you that you might have a positive attitude, but your energy is actually quite negative. So today we're going to talk about, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a negative person. I want to be a positive person. So we're going to find out how I can actually begin to change my energy, because law of attraction states what you are, right? You create more of. What I think, what I believe, what I speak, I create more of, right? And if my energy is negative, oh my gosh, I might accidentally be creating negative outcomes in my life. So if you're looking around and you're saying, oh my gosh, all this stuff is kind of a mess in my life, it's negative, I'm not getting the outcome that I want, it's probably, instead of focusing on doing, more action, let's back it up and talk about your energy, okay? Because your energy fuels everything. So let's talk about, I don't want to be late. It's my automatic negative thought. How did I get here? And it's okay. I'm telling you, if you are realizing that you are a negative person, don't worry, probably about 90% of the people out there all feel the same way, right? Because we're kind of wired this way, right? Our brain, our mind, our DNA essentially tries to protect us, right? Our ego tries to protect us, okay? I talked about this on a couple episodes ago, so subscribe, go back and look at that episode. It'll be kind of helpful with this, but we're kind of wired this way, okay? Because our brains, our mindsets, our energy, it wants to protect us and keep us safe. So in this sense, it started back in the day with, caveman and a lion chasing you. Oh my gosh, my ego kicks in. I got to run because this lion's going to eat me. Now it's evolved into, oh my gosh, I don't want to be disappointed if I'm not on time. So let me automatically think that I'm going to be late so I'm not disappointed, right? And so you're focused on avoiding disappointment. And what you are focused on, you get more of. So if I'm trying to avoid disappointment, I am focused on that disappointment, and I'm going to end up getting more disappointment. And how your mind works is what you're focused on, you actually look for more of, right? That confirmation bias or whatever you want to call it. There's tons of different things. Lucky girl syndrome, a couple months ago. But your brain looks for reasons to support what you already believe. So now I'm in this traffic jam. I don't want to be late. But what does my mind now start to look for? What do I create more of? My similar energy? I'm going to create more of that. I'm going to attract it, and now I'm actually going to look for it too. Now I'm looking, oh my gosh, this lane hasn't moved in like 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to be late, and I'm going to miss this meeting. My boss, oh my god, I'm going to get fired, right? And we go there. We start to overanalyze and overthink, and we create these crazy scenarios that are all potentials and don't actually exist yet, but we create them in our minds. And now our energy is getting more chaotic, and negative, and now I'm worried and filled with anxiety, and oh my gosh, it's exhausting. So all I'm going to tell you to do is, and here's where you can see if you actually are someone who fears disappointment. If you are going to create this potential outcome, right? I'm going to be late. I'm going to get fired. All these things. Ugh. If you're going to create the negative one, I'm going to challenge you to create the positive one. And this is where I get a lot of kickback as a life coach, because it's like, no, I don't want to be naive to the fact that I'm going to be late. It sounds like I'm just avoiding my problems and I'm ignoring the matter at hand. No. I'm not telling you to ignore the fact that there's traffic there and that you're sitting in it, but I am telling you not to focus on it, right? How can you shift your focal points? Okay. Shift your focal point towards, okay, how about instead of automatically thinking a negative thought, focusing on what we don't want or what we don't have. I don't want to be in this traffic. I don't want to be late. I don't have time to get to work on time. How about we shift it to focus on something that we do want or that we do have? It really is that simple, and we just overcomplicate it. Start thinking more of what you want and what you do have versus what you don't want. Let's start there and see what happens. I'm going to challenge you. If you truly focus your energy and catch yourself, right? You're going to have to catch yourself a lot, because like I said, you've been wired to think this way. You have to catch yourself and from this automatic negative thought and think it with the positive one, because no, you are not responsible for your first thought, but you are responsible for your second thought. Okay. I went to Costa Rica last year, and I was there for a couple weeks, and I was there for about a week in rainy season, and like it was wild. These roads are like these dirt paths, and because it rained so much, the dirt road had all of these divots and grooves, kind of looked like a brain, all these crazy grooves from the rain, right? Every day it rains, and the rain goes a certain way, right? Because the deeper the trench is carved, the easier and the more rain goes down that pathway, which in turn makes it actually deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm telling you, your brain is the same way. Your mind will always want to take the path of least resistance. So it's actually easier for you to think the negative thought. That's why it's an automatic one. I don't have to think, oh my God, I don't want to be late. Okay. So you have to fight back. The chance of this water, in Costa Rica when it rains, going down a different path is very difficult. Right? You have to catch it. Every single time it rains, you'd have to carve out this other little path. And eventually that path would start to collect some momentum and some water, right? Taking away from the other deeper one that's been there for years and years and years. So that's exactly what happens in your mind. You have been conditioned and wired and all your thoughts are going towards the negative because it's just easier. So it's conscious effort. It's consistent effort to say, okay, I want to start changing my thoughts from negative. I want to start changing my energy from negative. I'm going to do it. And it starts with catching yourself. And eventually, the goal would be, okay, I do this enough. And this trench is just as deep as the negative one, right? So, and maybe it'll even get deeper than the negative one. So my automatic thoughts will now be positive, but it takes time. So what you can do is, oh my God, I don't want to be late, right? Okay, first of all, what you can do is you can actually phrase it as not what you don't want, but what you do want. I want to be on time, right? Start there, right? Just start there. It's going to sound really weird when you first start doing it because it's like, no, I just want to be negative and I want to be mad. I want to be on time, right? So state what you do want, not what you don't want. Okay. I want to be on time. So it's shifting, right? We're not ignoring the fact that there's 8 lanes of traffic there, but we're shifting towards what we actually do want. I want to be on time. Okay. Okay. It's just going to set me up to at least go in the right direction for positive thoughts. Okay. I want to be on time. Okay. That's what you're going to do. Phrase it towards what you want. Second step, you're going to immediately apply gratitude, because gratitude is the number one thing that takes you from a negative energetic standpoint to a positive one. Okay. So you're going to shift into gratitude, right? If you see fire trucks and ambulance up there, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I wasn't in the car accident. Maybe that's causing the traffic jam. Or when you pass by it and you see everyone's okay, you say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that they're okay. It was just a fender bender or whatever, right? I'm so grateful I have a boss who actually doesn't care if I'm on time. Or I'm so grateful I have a client who actually can take a phone call. I can actually call them right now, right? I can actually get it early, right? And you start to open up your way of thinking and looking for, right? Your mind's always going to look for reasons to support what you believe. I'm going to actually look for ways that can actually work out for me. How can this work out for me? Right? I'm grateful for all of this. And that is the way that you can start to shift your mind from a negative to a positive. So 1, phrase it the way of what you do want. Okay. And then 2, express that gratitude. Okay. And if you're going to create that potential that's negative, I'm going to challenge you to create one that is positive and see how you feel, right? That positive energy of, okay, this potential, I bet you this accident will probably clear up, and I bet you that nobody got hurt. And I think I'm actually going to, I can actually see the traffic moving a little faster, and everything's going to clear up. And on the other side, I'll actually be able to get to work on time or even a couple minutes late. And even if I'm late, I bet you my boss won't even be in the office yet. And start to think about these things, because it just alleviates the pressure and you can actually feel your energy start to shift. And if you are somebody who's like, well, I don't want to say that, because what if my boss is there and he is going to be mad at me or fire me because I'm late again, right? Well, 1, you're not there yet. So you're putting energy into a potential that doesn't exist. But the more energy you put into something, the more valid it becomes, because what you think of, you create more of. So why not at least think about what you want, right? And you can always, when you redirect your thought process out of panic and this distress, you can actually begin to think clearly. Oh, maybe I can call my boss and explain that I'm going to be late. Or maybe, and here's the thing too, like worst case scenario, let's say you end up getting fired because you've been late to work 15 times. Wouldn't you rather spend that 30 minutes at least thinking and feeling positive versus like in this 30 minutes of added dread, right? That's actually not going to make anything better. Well, it's going to prepare me for disappointment. No. Disappointment is not as daunting as you think, and we will definitely get to that in another episode. So subscribe, like this channel, send this to a friend who might think that they're a positive person, but things just keep happening right and left, and you want them to direct their energy towards positivity. So that's all I have for you today. But of course, if I could leave you with just one thing, it would be this: expect good things always, and they will happen.